Hello, and welcome to the Lanterns edition of the Ohio State Football Preview. I'm Brian Nelson.
And I'm Khalid Hashi. Now let's take a look at what the Buckeyes can expect going into Week 14 against Michigan. Ohio State went into their first top 10 matchup ranked number 2 after defeating number 9 Penn State 28-17. And this Saturday, the Buckeyes will travel to Michigan to face off in the biggest rivalry in college football. The Buckeyes faced their first true test of the season against Penn State, with their starters playing every snap for the first time this season. Ohio State jumped out to an early 21-0 lead early in the third quarter, and then things got out of hand. After 3 fumbles by Justin Fields and J.K. Dobbins, the Nittany Lions scored 17 unanswered points to cut the lead to 21-17. The Buckeyes would hold on in the fourth quarter for a 28-17 victory over Penn State. J.K. Dobbins led the Buckeyes offense with 157 yards on the ground and 2 touchdowns. Justin Fields had 2 passing touchdowns to wide receivers KJ Hill and Chris Olave. Overall, the Buckeyes clinched the Big Ten East Division and a ticket to the Big Ten Championship in Indianapolis.
The Buckeyes once again showed why they are the number 1 defense in the country. Despite 3 turnovers from the offense putting the defense in a hole, Ohio State never lost focus and rallied to regain control of the game. The Buckeyes were helped by the return of star junior defensive end Chase Young to the field after his 2-game suspension kept him out of the games against Maryland and Rutgers the past 2 weeks. Young had no trouble getting into the Nittany Lions backfield as he had a career high in tackles with 9 and recorded 3 sacks. With those sacks, Young passed former Buckeye Vernon Golston for the single-season sack record and currently has 16.5 with at least 3 games left to go in the season. Another Buckeye that had a good day on the field was redshirt senior linebacker Justin Hilliard, who had a crucial interception to stop a Penn State drive in Ohio State territory. Now, focus shifts once again to being that team up north for the 8th time in a row.
Michigan will have their hands full as they look to snap the Buckeyes' 7-game win streak. Michigan will be led by 5th-year head coach Jim Harbaugh, who has a lot of pressure to get his first win against Ohio State. At quarterback for Michigan will be veteran senior Shea Patterson, who has thrown for 2,523 yards and 21 touchdowns. And in last year's matchup against Ohio State, Patterson threw for 187 yards and 3 touchdowns. Complementing Patterson will be a group of receivers who have been impressive, led by junior Nico Collins and sophomore Ronnie Bell. Patterson will also look at junior Donovan Peoples-Jones and junior Tariq Black as options in the passing game. Leading the way in the rush game will be true freshman running back Zach Charbonnet, who currently has 635 yards and 11 touchdowns on the ground. If the Wolverines offense wants to have success against the number 1 defense in the country, the Michigan offensive line has to be extremely disciplined in order to stop Chase Young and the talented Buckeyes defensive line.
Ohio State faces another tough matchup in the Michigan Wolverines defense. They are the number 4 total defense in the country and are allowing 267 yards per game. In contrast to Penn State being extremely efficient at stopping the run, Michigan excels at stopping the pass. Their pass defense is 4th in the nation and is only allowing 161 yards per game from the air. A large reason for that is their experienced secondary. Led by senior cornerback Lavert Hill, the Wolverines have upperclassmen with multiple years in the system all lining up against the Buckeyes. Where Ohio State might find an advantage over Michigan is in the Wolverines' run defense. While it is by no means a weakness as it ranks 13th in the country, the Buckeyes have already had plenty of success against higher-ranked rushing defenses in Penn State and Wisconsin. In addition, both of Michigan's losses this season were at the hands of the Badgers and Nittany Lions. Michigan leads the all-time series against Ohio State 58-50-6. But aside from a lone loss in 2011 when Luke Fickell was interim head coach, the Buckeyes have won every game since 2004. Ryan Day will look to continue the winning streak against the Wolverines as he looks to get his first victory in the game on Saturday.
The Buckeyes kick off against Michigan this Saturday at noon in Ann Arbor. To stay updated on all things Ohio State, follow The Lantern and Lantern TV on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. I'm Khalid Hashi.
And I'm Brian Nelson. And thanks for watching Lantern TV.